I don't know if you heard this, like he's saying he wants to have Bachelor King and has called for men all over the world to submit your video or profile, and he's going to choose the top 3 people and they're going to get an all expense trip, I guess, to say hi in jail. I mean,
That's not a very good prize.
well, I mean, what person in
Welcome to
the
jail.
yeah, or like when he gets out, he's promising them something, but who is submitting their application to be Joe Exotic's new boyfriend? I would love to know. I mean, I'm going to pass on that personally. It's a little strange, right?
I just read an article a few days ago that listed a bunch of people who were murderers that are now in prison, and talking about how there has become this weird fascination and cult following of these murderers, that they have like huge social channels. And the only person that was on the list that wasn't an actual murderer, who just been convicted for murder for hire, was Joe. And I thought I mean, forgetting him altogether, all these other guys, people who had like killed a mother and her infant child, and all of these horrific murderers that have these people that just worship them. What is wrong with our society?
That's where our society has got it all wrong. Like people want 15 minutes of fame. It's the strangest thing. It's not money. It's not, you don't get any money from this. It's like they're attracted to these people, I'm assuming because they're in the media and they have a name. Yes, that's when you're like, something has happened to our society.
I was shocked, just shocked. And I would have I would have chalked it up to just being another stupid media headline story. But these people did have huge social followings on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. And it's like, that's not made up by the press. That is people clicking and saying, I like this. I want more of this. And it's like, what is wrong with all those people?
Like, why? It's very strange. That's when it's like social media has eroded our society. And listen, I say all the time, if I didn't have this job, which I mean, you too, like you have a job where it's kind of tied to social media, like you want to get the word out there. I would never be on social media. You would never, like, I would not exist in this world. I would be having a life and you would never hear about me. It's just work related. I don't know people who do it not work related. I don't know why. I'm like, why are you spending 20 hours looking into your phone? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. And yet none of this would exist if it weren't for an awful lot of that going on.
That's how you get a show like Tiger King, where it becomes about sensationalized headlines and ratings. What about the fact that Joe's ex-husband now has like a new boyfriend? Any thoughts on that?
We had heard, the big cat community is such a small group of people. And so through the grapevine, which you can never really believe, but I mean, Joe wasn't behind bars, I don't think, for maybe a few weeks, a couple of months at the most, before we were hearing that people were saying that Dylan had already moved on. And despite the fact that people were seeing him show up and be supportive of Joe, that he had already moved on with his life. If you noticed, his ring was now around his neck, it wasn't on his hand anymore. And so even within the filming that they did, he wasn't wearing the ring anymore, he was wearing it around his neck. And so I don't know personally what that relationship is like or anything. I do know that when Dylan first took up with Joe, the only things that I had seen on his social media was that he was this very well-loved cheerleader at his school, and people just adored him, and he seemed to have so much promise in his life. And I wondered, how on earth did Joe manage to suck you into this web? Because I've never seen anybody come out of it better for the experience.